And with that, your next performer is Lesley Hennen.
A woman with long brown hair in a gray shirt and ripped jeans and black boots walks to the stage.
Thank you. I think it's going to be my new Tinder bio. All right, so my name is Lesley Hennen. A little bit about me. I was born with bilateral, that's doctor speak for two, by the way, little hot tip for you all, bilateral club feet. And so I wear leg braces. I've worn them pretty much my whole life since I was like 3 or 4. And I have this one aunt that I see maybe once every 3 to 5 years, and she loves to say the same thing to me every time. She says, "Say, how's that leg of yours doing?" And I'm like, okay, first of all, Nancy, it's 2. It's both of my legs. Do you know what bilateral means? Clearly not. Second of all, they're the same as last time you asked me. That's how this works. But I'm just being a dick. She's great. Let's see. Growing up, I had a pretty normal childhood, actually, but I loved watching TV. I loved movies. I never really saw anyone that looked like me on TV. I still haven't. That's a whole other issue. We can get into it another time. But the closest thing, the only character really that I've ever seen with leg braces in a movie is Forrest Gump. Problematic for several reasons. Mostly for me because in the first 15 minutes, give or take, of the movie, his leg braces magically fly off. Fun. And just one more, impossible standard for me to live up to as a woman. But it's okay, guys, I'm fine. I do like to consider myself mostly able because I can get around, without too much trouble. I can do pretty much everything. There's a few things I can't do, like I can't ride a bike. I have to hold onto a railing when I'm walking upstairs or downstairs. I also can't really take my shoes and everything off without taking off my pants first, which makes airport security really fun. Or also, if you've ever invite me over to your house and we come to the door and you're like, oh, do you mind just taking your shoes off really quick? And I say, yes, yeah, no problem. Let me just you go grab us some drinks. I'm gonna get something out of my purse really quick and then I'll meet you in there. I just wanna be clear that what's actually happening is that I'm taking off my pants in your doorway as quick as humanly possible and then putting them back on. Just so we're all clear that has happened several times. Yeah, like I said, I really had a pretty, an easy childhood growing up. Didn't really deal with bullies. I was very lucky. The worst part, I would say, was a lot of adults always trying to help me, but not really knowing how. So a lot of times, I would go to gym class and they'd be like, all right, kids, we're gonna do, that game where you sit on a scooter and you just push yourselves around with your legs and there's different sized balls flying around and you all have to get from one side of the gym to the other side and there's all these different things happening. Lesley, let me know. Whatever you need, we're here for you, okay? But you have to let me know. You have to work with us here, okay? Let me know. And I was like, I'm 10 years old. I'm spending all day trying to learn long division with these assholes. And now I have to teach you how to make an accessible gym class curriculum? That just doesn't quite seem fair to me. I don't know. Or my favorite was when teachers would look down and they'd get down real condescending in my face and they'd be like, listen, the only disability is a bad attitude. I know. Oh, that was the best one. But no, I feel like as a person living with a disability, a lot of my time is spent bothering people. Because, like I said, I'm mostly able, so a lot of the times I get into situations and then I realize I can't get out of them without bothering someone for help. Like the other week, I went to a concert with some friends and I offered to go get the next round of drinks. And it was a big stadium arena situation, so I went down to the concession stand. I was like, I'll have 4 beers, please. And so they gave me 4 beers, and then they had run out of the little cardboard holder things. So I was like, okay, yeah, this is fine. I'm fine. This is all fine. So I was holding 2 in each hand, and then I got to the stairs, and I was like, okay, no, I got this. And I shoved one in an elbow, and I put one in my mouth, and I was holding the rest. And I was just slowly walking up the stairs. And this man, bless his heart, was like, do you need help? And I was like, oh my God, thank you so much for stopping us. I'm so sorry. Just I have this thing, you know, and it's like, oh God. And then we're just in like row 97 up there, if you wouldn't mind walking my beers up there. And he did. He was super nice about it. But also growing up in Minnesota, any Minnesotans out there? Maybe? Okay. I don't know if, but bothering people is like the cardinal sin. There's like adultery, like don't do it, people do it, but don't do it. And then there's like murder, which is pretty bad. And then there's bothering people, like all the way up here. Never bother someone in Minnesota. But then vice versa, I feel like people don't really bother me. People are always afraid to ask me about my disability, but very few people do, and when they do, it always happens the exact same way. It's always like about 1 year to the date since I've known them, and we are, literally every time. And we are almost always on a train or like walking to a train. And I think it's just, you know, there's a guaranteed out. They're gonna have to leave at some point if it gets weird. And we'll be talking about something totally normal, and all of a sudden there'll be like a lull in the conversation, and they'll go, hey, can I ask you a personal question? And I'm like, yeah, for like playing dumb. And then they ask me, you know, like what happened? And I'm like, nothing really happened. This is just how I am. And then it's fine, and everyone lives. It's great. Honestly, there's only been one person in my entire life that's ever asked me about my disability without implying that there was something wrong with me or that like something had happened to me, and that was like over 2 years ago, and we still have sex sometimes. So take from that what you will. But yeah, at the end of the day, there's just sort of a lot of misinformation about disability out there, so I'm going to leave you guys with a bit of a cautionary tale. I was about 12 years old, and I was with my dad. He was very into motorcycles, and growing up used to take some like motorcycle trips, camping and whatnot. And we were at this like motorcycle safety class he made me take. And we were, it was a bunch of people, and he was on the motorcycle, and I was getting on the back of it. And this woman, never met her before in my life. She was part of the class. She comes like running over and tries to help me. I didn't ask for help. And all of a sudden, she just grabs one of my legs and starts pulling as hard as she possibly can. And I was like, ow, stop that. She's like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. And she let go of my leg. She's like, I just assumed it was fake. I know. But yeah, so everyone should just be really careful out there, because there's a woman. There's a woman out there who thinks that it's totally fine, even like good, to just go up to someone with a fake leg and rip it off. So just who knows what she's capable of. Just be careful. All right, thank you. You guys have been great.